bought Rock of Rochelle from a guy who got into trouble and through Dermot Wells. He had already won 3 races and he was a 4-year-old. I raced him, I think, twice only, once in Ireland at the Curragh and once at Royal Ascot. And that's where he ran about 2 lengths off King's Apostle. He beat Equihano home. If you look at the King's Apostle video, you'll see him right there at the finish. Rock of Rochelle's pedigree is quite incredible for South Africa, that is. Firstly, his sire, Rock of Gibraltar, I mean, people argue that he may not have produced horses the way that he raced. He won 7 Group 1s in a row. I still think he produced quite a few Group 1 winners, but I believe that his sons are going to be top stallions. And it's for that reason I bought into a filly in Australia called, she's running here now, she's by Mount Nelson. Mount Nelson is one of Rock of Gibraltar's Group 1 winning sons. And it was, I think it's owned by Andreas Jacobs. And I bought a filly and she's beaten everything in South Africa, the best fillies in South Africa. She didn't carry on to run in the last Group 1s, but she's ready to take them on in the Guineas here in Cape Town. She's with Gavin van Zyl. Top filly. Now, his female line is out of a mare called Recoleta. And Carl Miedema went to buy this mare for a client of his in North America. And he wanted this mare because he wanted to put it to Dynaforma. And the 3rd dam in that family is the dam of Dynaforma. So if you look at the pedigree of Rock of Rochelle, he's got some serious horses in there. There's a horse called Awfully Wild in there that's a top sire in America. He came out with a bang. He was the top 2-year-old sire, and he continues to throw very prolific winners and group winners. So I'm very confident that this particular pedigree is going to work for us in South Africa. But as you know, stallions are lotteries. You know, you can only talk about them once they get their foals past the winning post. I have taken the risk and I own him outright. There's no syndication. After seeing the yearlings and the foals this year, it's amazing what they look like. There's some really stunning foals. I've got a filly that's a half-sister to Dressed in Cotton that's pitch black, and she's just amazing. You know, she's a beautiful looking foal. And then on the yearlings, I've got a filly out of Camara, an Illidior mare out of, you know, the Rattray family. I think she's one of the best yearlings I have on the farm, you know. And I can go on about the ones out of the Captain L mares. They all look very nice. I haven't seen a bad Rock of Rochelle. And, you know, everybody that I've spoken to, that I've given services to, are all praising the foals that they have. So, you know, it looks good for the future. All that needs to happen now is for them to run.
We chatted to you here at the Burger King outlet and things were flying. There was a queue outside the door at 10 o'clock in the morning. How's business going?
I still can't believe it. You know, we opened up the 4th one yesterday, or 2 days ago, on Tuesday, and queues, you know, and it was a shop that we opened at the Cape Gate shopping mall in Durbanville, and the demand is still there for it. So, you know, everybody's phoning me from Johannesburg and Durban and all over the country. Unfortunately, we can only go into those provinces next year because of the supply side. We are now building a huge factory out here in the Cape to become totally self-sufficient with our product, you know, in terms of the patties and all the protein. And we're localizing all the produce side, you know, so that we don't have to import any products. And it's looking very good to the extent that we've already had inquiries from other countries to supply them once we're up and running with the production side.
Your marketing efforts have been nothing short of spectacular. The MyCity bus routes, everywhere you go you can see Burger King adverts. But now you're taking it one step further as well with a new initiative.
You know, I've always said that I love racing. I'm passionate about racing, and I've been approached to sponsor the Guineas, the Group 1 Colts Guineas. Well, it's the Guineas for Colts and fillies, I suppose. And I thought about it, and I said to myself, it's probably one of the greatest races in South Africa. I remember when I was a kid, the race between In Full Flight and Sentinel, where they dead heat at Milnerton, and I've never ever forgotten that. Now, for me to sponsor a race like this is a big step forward for us here in this group, whether it's Grand Parade or Burger King or wherever it is. But the initiative is something which is very close to my heart, not only for racing, but for the people of Cape Town. We've decided to sponsor it's going to be called the Burger King Cape Town Guineas, because the brand Cape Town is far more important than Burger King. I have spoken to the mayor of Cape Town. They're going to come on board with me to help with this whole day. And we want to reach out to Cape Town, to those who haven't got. So it's going to be a Burger King family day, where we're going to bring in thousands of underprivileged kids, old age homes, fragile care homes, and we're just going to spoil them just before Christmas. The race is on the 21st of December, and we want to open our hearts to those who haven't got. And I'm telling you right now that it's going to be a fabulous day of giving, and that's more important to me than anything else right now. I want to say that this is the start of a new era. The Guineas prize at the moment is R1 million. We're seriously trying of increasing it this year to more. I can't confirm that yet, but I'm working on it. But the idea would be to couple it with 2 or 3 other races, so that, the prize money, the collective prize money could be as much as 5 or 6 million, and the added prize another 5 or 6 million. Now, you can insure yourself against that one horse winning all of those races, but that would be the attraction for overseas buyers to come here. If the Chinese wants to buy our horses, why can't they just race it here? I can go speak to the government to say, look here, we have a bilateral with China. Why can't we encourage them to own horses here? And when they do well, they can take it back to China, and maybe China can lift our protocols and make it much easier for us to export to China. But I think you have to start to think outside the box. If you can't think out of the box, we're going to start to complain about all of these negative issues and not go forward. I've never been a negative. I've never invested in negative energy. Will continue to fight for us to breed the best in the world, and also to trade in the way that we would like to trade. Because, South Africa is a country which has changed the world. And why can't we do it with horses?
Hassen, breaking news then, because the Burger King Cape Town Guineas is something that's not too far away now. But going forward, in terms of you as a businessman, a big racehorse owner, a breeder, and obviously, importantly, Burger King, how are things looking for racing in South Africa, and particularly in the Western Cape?
Well, I can only say that after seeing what's happened in Europe at Tattersall's and all of these sales, we all link together. It's a small globe that we live on, and those prices influences us. If you can't buy a horse for 600,000 pounds or guineas in Europe, where else are you going to find a cheaper horse? The only place to find it cheaper is in South Africa. So it must look good for us, everybody who says it's not going to look good for us, they're blind, Here you can buy a horse for 50,000 pounds and get something that can beat the best in Europe. And we've seen what Mike de Kock has done there. So come on, let's wake up, guys, let's get positive and get real, and let's take on the world,